it still works.
Yeah.
And it's
boy, there's a good defense on the inbounds by Oregon, forcing a turnover.
There's the intensity of Frank Martin. Whoa. Wow. Talk about if looks could kill.
Frank Martin is he never played. It's interesting. A lot more coaches we see like that. He was never a player. He's a born and bred coach from Miami.
Yeah.
He had great connections to the Miami area.
Yeah, longtime assistant to Marcos Shaky Rodriguez, excellent high school championship coach down in the Miami area. Coach Steve Blake, Coach Doug Edwards, who's an assistant.
Well, Garrett Sims showing that little running push shot that we've seen from Clemente at K-State.
Yeah, I really like Garrett Sims. I think he's going to develop into an outstanding guard in the Pac-10 for Oregon. Has great basketball savvy for just a freshman.
Block on the baseline is Matt Humphrey. Put it down for Oregon. Buchi Awaji, a junior from Los Angeles, in for the first time for K-State with the foul. Now Jacob Pullen takes a seat.
Just watching in warm-ups, Buchi Awaji out of Loyola High School in Los Angeles, same school that produced the Wilkes brothers from Cal, Omar and Thornton, amongst other players. But just watching him in warm-ups, he's got an otherworldly boost. He was jumping out of the gym, so let's see if he can put some of that. Now, it's one thing to do all that in warm-ups, and a lot of times you find guys have a hard time getting that to transition over to actual game-type settings. So you may never see it, but it was impressive to watch during warm-ups.
K-State's gone 10 deep.
And with the Merriweather early, Chris Merriweather, Archie, and these are energy guys that Frank Martin talked about playing a lot more, just to give them that defensive presence, get a little bit more energy, not so much scoring.
Oregon has played 5 freshmen so far. Only Michael Dunnigan has not gotten in the game.
And the freshmen have played well, as witnessed by Oregon's 2-point lead here with a little over 6 minutes to go in the first half. K-State, they did a great job the first 10 minutes or so of the game, sharing the basketball, making the extra pass. It was just one pass extra, but making the extra pass. Now they're going a little bit too much one-on-one.
There's Michael Dunnigan. He's got a big brace on his right elbow, although he did look at a pretty good workout before the game. Not on the floor. Not 1 of 5 on the floor for Oregon, brought to you by KSU. Off the ball. Going to avoid an emphasis this year. Once again, trying to clean up play off the ball.
Garrett Sim, I believe, was caught moving, trying to set a good, hard, aggressive screen, a little bit of a slide, and not establish complete position. So, but you don't really mind that if you're Ernie Kent. I mean, you're trying to help a teammate free himself up for a score.
2006 Oregon for K-State. And we've got a 7th here in Oregon. So they'll put the K-State Wildcats to the line. Denis Brittle picks up a 2nd.
Yeah, Denis Clemente again, once again, kind of taking things in his own hands. But with the lineup on the floor, Waji and some of these other non-scorers, Jamar Samuels is a pretty decent scorer, but a young player.
Odia back in. Well, apparently not at the line. As Awaji takes it in. This will be a shooting foul. And that's Longmire in his 2nd.
Now, this will be a key stretch for Oregon. We talked about their improved defensive effort and concentration, as you see Ernie Kent giving out pointers to freshman Matthew Humphrey, but to see if they can sustain that defensive effort and more importantly, the correct positioning. That time in the middle, just too wide open. I'm sure they're not giving up middle penetration. You want to force baseline where you got most of your help.
There's Drew Wiley back in for Oregon. Garrett Sim will sit. Cameron Brown will return as well. Looks like Oregon trying to match a K-State pretty frequent sub pace, keep fresh legs on the court.
And that's Ernikin's done for most of this season. 10 guys averaging at least 14 minutes a game to play the style he wants to play. You're going to have to do that.
Now Oregon they went to Maui. They beat Alabama in the first game, but they were just completely overmatched against Texas and North Carolina.
Yes, they were. It's happened to quite a few of North Carolina.
Well, North Carolina for sure.
I thought they would play a lot better against Texas.
A little not ready for prime time yet.
Yeah.
Clemente back. And his runner will go to the line. And, you know, it doesn't get a whole lot easier. I mean, with a young team, Oregon still has a pretty challenging non-conference schedule. They're going to play San Diego, which had a terrific season last year.
Bill Greer, former Gonzaga assistant. Did they win the tournament? Didn't they beat? I think they beat Gonzaga to win their tournament and get into the NCAA playoffs.
Right. Made the NCAA. So they'll play them up in Portland Saturday. They still have to play St. Mary's. That'll be here at McCourt, but that will be a very challenging game. And Portland, which is having a good start under
Eric Revenue. Yeah, old friend of ours from Stanford.
Beat Washington already.
Long-time Mike Montgomery assistant.
Well, Clemente's, you would expect, a second cousin of the late Roberto, wears his number, although when Marcus Johnson asked him before the game if he watched the former UMass guards from Puerto Rico.
Lit up like a Christmas tree, Ted.
Wow. You hit a nerve there. That was good.
I mentioned the name Edgar Padilla. He just said, oh, Padilla. Yeah, that was, I grew up. That was my guy. Carmelo Travicio, 2.2 guards from UMass, born on the same day.
Got a block here at midcourt. Humphrey of Oregon, fouled by Darren Kent of K-State.
And the one thing I can say for Ernie Kent and his recruiting philosophy, bringing in the Chicago kids, Jovan Catron from Thornton Township was a big part of that success. He was the first kind of Chicago guy, and he helped get Criddle and Dunnigan and Humphrey into the fold. But these Chicago kids, I mean, they kind of, the Kevin Garnett, kind of no nonsense, no frills, not a whole lot of flash and dash and fancy stuff. Just real solid, straight up and down, get the job done type mentality.
And I would add fearless.
Yeah, all that.
Chicago, fearless.
Yep.
Humphrey makes both foul shots.
And that's talking big. Now, guards from Chicago, Tim Hardaway and people like that, different story. A lot of flash, a lot of style.
That's a good call about Hardaway.
But the big guys, they do what big guys are supposed to do.
Clemente. Good ball movement there by K-State. Clemente's been in a shooting slump. His follow there doesn't go. And now with the ball, Cameron Brown, and he's fouled. The pressure in the backcourt. It's Merriweather of K-State.
A nice collective group effort on the glass by Oregon. Now they're a team that gets out-rebounded by about 3 a game. Kansas State averages 17 offensive rebounds a game, and that time Cameron Brown just kind of getting into the mix. I like that.
See, and that's without Catron and without Dunnigan, it appears. And again, we're told Dunnigan's in uniform. He warmed up fully for the game, but it certainly looks like he's not going to play. Just hyper-extended right elbow.
You're talking 15 rebounds a game with those two out. Dunnigan at 7 rebounds a game. Jovan Catron, their leading rebounder, just over 8 rebounds a game. So that's a major challenge for Oregon against a K-State team again to get 17 offensive rebounds per outing.
So Cameron Brown hits the front end of a 1-and-1. Jovan Catron's got a boot on that right ankle.
Dukes. They call him Dukes. But he's had some good early season games. He thinks it's just going to be a 1-game type injury situation. He should be back for the next ball game, but they're missing his versatility on the floor.
Half-court trap.
Jacob Pullum has given him pretty much nothing for K-State. He's been real quiet here in the first half.
Pulling out. Well, he didn't close out all the way, and Porter burned it. Pullum did not get all the way out on him.
Fred Martin is going to make sure that he understands his defensive mistake.
But he comes back and gets 2. First points for Jacob Pullen. Setup, great setup to Wiley. And Churchill Odia will be called on the rebound foul. Now Tajuan Porter. 3 threes already and 11 points as Oregon takes a 4-point lead to the break.
Are you aware of an impending attack on the